Assalamu alaikum. Are you all able to understand and follow your online classes in social? Please leave your comments to my personal number. Today in geography, you are going to learn more about lithosphere and endogenetic process. Before getting into our new and main agenda, let's recap the structure of the earth. Observe the chart and the diagram. You may be very familiar with this. So litho means land, atmosphere means layer of gases, hydrosphere means water, and finally biosphere where all the life exists. Now the earth's interior. You can see the layers of the earth has been written by 1, 2, 3 and 4. So quickly write down in your notebook what is the name of all these 4 numbers. Before watching the further video, please write down the activity given for you, make a pause of the video and then go further. Crust, outermost, solid and rigid layer of earth. Crust has been divided into continental and oceanic crust. Continental crust is made up of Cl, that is silica and aluminium. Oceanic crust is made up of Sima, silica and magnesium. In between the crust and the core lies the mantle. Major elements of this is silica and magnesium called Sima. You have 2 parts in mantle, upper and lower. Upper part is solid, lower part is in the form of molten rocks that is called as magma. The core, innermost and hottest layer, and the components are nickel and iron. The presence of iron in large amount is responsible for Earth's gravitational force. The next term, rocks. Crust is the storehouse of rocks containing minerals. Based on formation, there are 3 types of rocks: igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. Here is a video for you to understand the formation of all the 3 rocks. So watch it carefully.
This is called magma. When magma cools, it becomes rock. Magma comes up to the surface from volcanoes. It forms rocks above the surface. Magma can also cool under the surface. It makes rocks under the ground. The rocks that are formed from magma are called igneous rocks. Sometimes pieces of rocks, minerals, and soil are moved by wind and water. They are carried to a different place. They are piled up together. They pile up under lakes and oceans. They get pressed together over time. The rocks that are formed in this way are called sedimentary rocks. That's because the parts that make them up are called sediments. These rocks are often formed under mountains. The pressure or heat changes these rocks. Basalt can change into granulite. Limestone can change into marble.
Now you might have understood the formation of all 3 different kinds of rocks. So this is a rock cycle. Rock cycle is a continuous process through which igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic rocks are transformed from one form to the another. Here starts the new chapter, geomorphic process. So you have 2 types, internal and external. So in this lesson you will be learning only about the internal process, which is also known as endogenetic process. See the right corner, you have a GIF file where it shows the phenomenon of plate tectonics. Observe it carefully. Plate tectonics. Lithosphere is divided into number of huge slabs of rocks called tectonic plates. These plates float independently over the mantle. Collisions of these plates build topographic relief both on land and on ocean floor. This phenomenon is called plate tectonics. Observe the map. Tectonic plates areas where it is very active, and on the right hand side you have the types of plate boundaries: divergent, convergent, and transform. For you to understand the movements of continental plates, here is a video. Watch it carefully. So according to the plate tectonics, the plates are in constant motion. Not only before 200 million years ago, even now. You can see in the picture the Pangaea, how it was before 250 million years ago. So our India, it was a part of Gondwana land, which comprised of modern Africa, Australia, Antarctica, and South America. This is how the continents are moving even now. The movement is not being felt by us, but it's slowly moving on. Being in 9th standard, you must be aware of structure of earthquake and the components of volcano. Here you have an activity to complete these blanks. Upcoming video, you have the new chapter called seismic waves in earthquake and different types of volcanoes based on the structure and components. Watch keenly to understand.
It is caused due to release of energy, which generates waves that travel in all directions. The point where the energy is released is called the focus of an earthquake, or there is also a term given to it called the hypocenter. The energy waves traveling in different directions reach the surface. The point on the surface nearest to the focus is called epicenter. This place is the first one to experience the waves. An instrument called seismograph records the wave reaching the surface. The waves look something like this. The curve shows 3 distinct sections, each representing different types of wave patterns. P wave, that is the primary or pressure wave, is a pulse of energy that travels quickly through the Earth's solid materials as well as liquids. It forces the ground to move backward and forward as it gets compressed and expanded. The S wave, that is the secondary or shear wave, follows more slowly with a swaying, rolling motion that shakes the ground back and forth perpendicular to the direction of the wave. Now going back to this picture, after body wave, that is P and S waves, comes the surface waves. The surface waves are the last to report on seismograph. They look something like this. This wave spreads across the surface of the Earth. These waves are also more destructive and damaging. They cause displacement of rocks and hence the collapse of structures occurs. These volcanoes are made up of multiple eruptions. So over time the lava cools down and forms thick layer of crust near the vent opening, giving it a conical shape. The lava that comes out of this volcano has higher viscosity, meaning it is thick. These volcanoes often result in explosive eruptions. Along with lava, large quantities of pyroclastic material and ashes find their way to the ground. The most explosive volcanoes. They are usually so explosive that when they erupt, they tend to collapse on themselves rather than building any tall structure. When we say explosive, we mean how hard it shoots upwards. Because if the eruption is not explosive, then the lava would flow in a nice river format. Explosive eruption means shooting harder upwards, remember that. So caldera are explosive, and because of that, the vent opening collapses on itself. That creates a depression, and this depression is called calderas. Their explosiveness indicates that the magma chamber supplying the lava is not only huge, but is also in close vicinity. Because the gravity will not allow the lava to go very high, therefore the distance between the magma chamber and the vent opening of the volcano has to be close. If you look at the picture, they resemble the shape of a warrior's shield. It's that wide in diameter. And the type of lava that gets out of this volcano is low in viscosity, meaning it is not thick. It is more of a fluid quality. And due to that, these volcanoes are not steep. Since the lava is not thick, therefore its eruption is like a fountain.
I hope you all are clear about the various types of seismic waves and the different types of volcanoes. Now observe the picture. Look into the magma chamber in the diagram. You can understand about active, dormant and extinct volcanoes. So these are the reasons for the types of volcanoes what you have seen so far. Active means constantly ejecting lava. Dormant, though there is no sign of volcanic activity, there may be sudden explosion later. And dead permanently stops its volcanic eruption. Effects of volcanoes. You can see on the slide, enriches fertility of soil, helps in generating geothermal energy. Most attractive tourism spots. It comes under the constructive effects. Now the destructive causes flash floods, mudslides, can bury or damage anything in its path, alters weather's condition and disrupts transport. What you see, the scene will be very familiar, isn't it? Yes, tsunami. It is associated with earthquake and volcanic eruptions under the ocean bed. So have a look. Your chapter got ended here. Children, as I have said earlier, give your comments to my personal number about the social online classes videos what I have completed so far. Kindly save all your videos for the future reference. Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah khair.